A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Gikandii. Chapter 10 Cause and Effect. The Prime Law of the Universe. The law of cause and effect is the most important law of the universe. It is a prime key to wealth consciousness. If you live by this law, you cannot fail to get wealth. Understanding and living by the law of cause and effect guarantees that you shall not fail to cause the events you wish to experience, that you shall predict outcomes and figure out the causes of your situations. Simply learn this law well and read the chapters on conditions and success, and you will be well on your way to wealth and happiness. Wealth is created when you correctly plug your tools of creation, powered by faith, into the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect is the prime law that runs the universe. It is the first law. Every spiritual and scientific teacher has sought to teach it, although they may have said it in a number of different ways. For example, you reap what you sow, or you get what you give, or what goes around comes around, or karma, or consequences, or every action has an equal and opposite reaction, or many other similar statements. Quantum physics is now teaching us how this works exactly on a subatomic level. Here is what we are now discovering. It is multiplicative. In other words, you will not only one day experience what you cause others to experience or its equivalent, you will do so multiplicatively. If you cause others to experience wealth and happiness, it will come back to you and you will experience it as well. But as a bonus, you will experience much more than you caused others to experience. Life is about growth. This is so for every experience imaginable. At some point in the complex of the space-time continuum, at some point in your life, by law you experience a multiple of what you cause others to experience. Nothing escapes this law. Even if you cannot see where this is happening, with your limited five physical senses right now, know that it happens and use it to create massive wealth. Scientists now agree that nothing can be observed without being affected by the observer. In fact, they have concluded that even their experiments must be done in a double-blind fashion to get anywhere close to accuracy, because their own expectations affect the outcome of the experiments. And even double-blind rigor cannot create a completely independent experience, because the thing being observed is created and recreated by the observer. Scientific evidence, especially in quantum physics, shows that you are the cause for all that you see in your world. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am joy. Cause others to experience wealth massively, increase their wealth consciousness massively, and you will experience wealth massively. Look at life today. Any business that deals with increasing people's productivity and connectivity always becomes a very big, self-sustaining business. It may not be a perfect business, but it will be big and self-sustaining. Software, networks, transport, electronics, and similar businesses improve people's productivity and standard of living, and in return, they grow. But that is only a scratch on the surface. Even more magnificent Even more magnificence will come our way when we start building businesses that are deliberately designed to give rather than receive. Businesses designed to make other people wealthy. Future businesses will be designed to cause growth that is true growth and not growth with serious side effects somewhere else. These businesses will elevate populations from a lower standard of living to a higher one, and will elevate their consciousness and well-being as well. The more you cause others to have wealth, the more you will have wealth effortlessly. I'm wealth, I'm abundance, I'm joy. Whatever you wish to get, give it away first. This is the fastest path. Whatever you wish to have, cause another to have it first. I'm wealth, I'm health, I'm abundance, I'm joy. What you reap, you will sow. The law of cause and effect. This law never fails, and since eventually you always harvest what you sow, it is always in your best interest to sow good seeds. Do not be unjust to anyone unless you wish to have injustice turned back to you one day. Hate, covetousness, greed, anger, and are all negative thoughts and actions that cause the negative conditions and suffering needed to bring about a correction in that negative thought. Remember always that the entire universal system is one, even though it appears separate. You will see this to be true as you read this book. What you do unto others is what you literally end up doing to yourself. I am wealth, I'm health, I'm abundance, I'm joy. By knowing the cause and effect power of thought, you can accurately predict the future by looking at the thought of now. Fortunately, we have the power to change thoughts and alter the future. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Cause and effect. You reap what you sow. We have been given this message from various sources over the years, and this is true. It works without fail, and ignoring this law is the cause of much of suffering and poverty. It is so simple. Simply be deliberate and thoughtful about what you are being, doing, thinking, or saying. Know that everything is a cause that has an effect. Then ask yourself, this thing that I am being, thinking, saying, or doing, what is its probable effect? The answer to that question is what you will reap later. So, if you cause another to suffer, it will return to you at some point in life. Ignoring this law has caused much suffering for the human race. Following this law has caused much prosperity as well. There is no mysterious external forces that causes random and wanton suffering. There is no such thing as bad luck. It is all within you individually and within the collective selves of your family, company, community, country, and world. Every single state of being, thought, word, and action has caused by something that came before it and will cause something that comes after it. When you wake up to this fact, ask yourself, what caused that thought I just had? Or what will be the effect of this thought I am having? You can fine-tune yourself and align yourself with the universe. This is the path to experiencing wealth and abundance. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Things get better when you get better. They get worse when you get worse. The world is all within you. You are the cause of everything that happens in your life, whether you are conscious of it or not. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. If you are the cause for everything in your world, and so is everyone else for their world, it means that groups of people are collectively the cause of their collective world. Corporate success and failure, neighborhood events, even wars, are natural disasters all happen, not because of only one person in the group, but because of all the people collectively causing that by which they are collectively affected. This brings us to your business. You will get the fastest results if the people you work with and associate with are people of wealth consciousness, which means that you should offer to help all those around you to improve their wealth consciousness. Remember also that one very powerful way of getting something is to cause another to get it. Couple these thoughts and you will see how widely beneficially it is for you to ensure that your employees, business partners, family, and even community and country and world, if they are interested, have access to educational material that allows them to build wealth consciousness in themselves. I am wealth, I'm health, I'm abundance, I'm joy. Imagine you are on an island with just one other person, working together for a whole year. Imagine that you are very friendly with each other and that you talk and share the books and food your relatives send you. What would happen if you slapped that person? That person will either slap you back, find another way to harm you, stop sharing books and food with you, or just have a less friendly heart toward you, even if he or she did not retaliate otherwise. Even if the other person does not seek revenge, some tension will be built that will cut short the freedom and companionship you had. This simple example shows you that it is impossible for you to harm someone without getting it back in some form or another. You harm someone and eventually you will hurt yourself. And if you can observe this to be so, why would you wish to harm someone? More appropriately, since when you harm someone else, you harm yourself. Why would you wish to harm yourself? Now, if you are working hard in your business, why would you wish to undo that work by harming others in and through your business? Whether it is your customers, your employees, your suppliers, the society, or the environment. And following on what we shall soon see about collective consciousness and the results of it, why would you wish to be passive when people are harming others? You know you will be affected in a negative way eventually when you allow a large corporation and your government to do business oppressively and harmfully. So why would you let that happen while you sit on the sidelines waiting for your negative share of the returns? To the extent that you allow other people's choices and consciousnesses to override your own, you will share in their consciousness. To the extent that you determine and make your own choices about everything, you will enjoy your own consequences. Wealth follows these rules, as does everything else. Saying, I don't care, does not exempt you from the law of cause and effect. As the people who were alive during World War II, if people had not said, I don't care, it's not my problem, from the very beginning, then would never have gotten as far as he did, and those people would never have to suffer the bombings and economic downturn caused by the war. To exist, these politicians needed the words collective consciousness to say, I don't care, I am separate. If you really care about getting wealthy and staying wealthy, you had better start caring about the world, if only for your own sake. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Commerce that is not built on true mutual benefit leads to imbalance, lack of peace, and eventually war. Whether you are a person, a corporation, or a nation, if you are making super profits at the expense of others, you will eventually, somehow, someday, end up harming yourself, just as you harm them. That is evident in the world and predictable by the law of cause and effect. Peace is the biggest boost to prosperity, and it is your own interest for your own prosperity to promote peace. One way to do that is to deal fairly, to be fair in your own businesses, and to seek to correct unfair trade practices around the world whenever you can. To the extent that you have peace, you will have prosperity. In other words, whatever level of prosperity you are in today, you would be more prosperous if you had more peace. This is true even for those in the arms businesses, as ridiculous as that may sound. For example, the global military-industrial complex is one of the world's biggest consumers of national budgets. Every second and minute, millions of dollars are spent around the world on military expenditures. Yet, this would be unnecessary if there were peace. Military expenditures do not circulate around an economy as most other expenditures do. They are largely dead funds. Look at all the expensive nuclear arms being destroyed now. Those millions of dollars spent every minute could instead have been spent on other activities that would actually be productive and circulate in the economy. Even if they were spent on guaranteeing the survival and equal opportunity of the poor and disadvantaged around the world, to give them a chance to build businesses instead of spending their whole day working just for a loaf of bread. The entire world would become more prosperous. It would be many times more prosperous. Imagine if the billions of people living in poverty became productive citizens with purchasing power. Wouldn't your business benefit? And this would be possible if military spending were directed instead to this cause. And those who benefit now from the arms trade would instead benefit from a different business in a world that is dozens of times more prosperous than this one. Peace is prosperity, war is not. If you want living proof, look at the United States. Even the United States fought internal battles until it united into one nation and stopped the disputes between its own states. Now it is prosperous largely because of its internal peace, cooperation, and free trade under almost equal legal protection for all within its borders. The European Union is realizing this as well and seeking to do the same, so are many other initiatives around the world. In Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, all over, but to different extents and at different rates. So in your own dealings, promote peace through fair trade, even when you have the opportunity to be unfair. And in the events of your community, country, and world, see what you can do to promote fair trade and peace. It is for your own prosperity. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Nothing in your world is real, nothing you see is real. It is an illusion created for your benefit, so that you may experience your thoughts and states of being firsthand and purify them and make them better. Beingness, thoughts, words, and actions create your world. Change your mind and you change your world. Change yourself and you change your world. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Here is a shortcut to solving problems, including financial ones. Whenever you are faced with a confusing, unclear, or problematic situation, look at it and say, I am that. And truly accept it, for you caused it and separation is an illusion. Then ask yourself, why am I that? All confusion and fear will disappear and solutions will automatically start to appear in the face of your I am that awareness. This applies to any situation, actually not just to a problem. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Have you noticed how life works like a large, complicated mirror? What you do to others, you do to yourself. If you wish to be happy, make others happy. If you wish to be free, make others free. Use this principle in your business, and you will be able to choose what you get back. I'm wealth, I'm abundance, I'm joy. The linkages between all life and the system of cause and effect are extremely complex. An apparently extremely small cause can have a huge effect in the future. Physicists have a beautiful way of explaining this simply. They call it the butterfly effect. Everything is a cause that has an effect, and everything is an effect that had a cause. This is a huge chain reaction that is not bound by time, space, or form. In the case of wealth, the effect is either wealth or poverty. Be aware of your thoughts and their probable effects. Is a particular thought likely to lead to wealth or poverty? There are no such things as idle thoughts, words, actions, or states of being. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Do not feel guilty. Forgive yourself for past failures and choose to act correctly next time. But avoid guilt, as it is one of the biggest destroyers of focus and confidence. Do not dwell on the past. Forgive others also. You are not doing them a favor when you forgive them. You are doing yourself the favor. They will still have their own cause and effect and depth for all their actions, whether you forgive them or not. But when you forgive them, you realize you release yourself from negative karmic cycle and release your energy for other positive things as well. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. What is found in the effect is really already in the cause. Try to understand this intimately, then live deliberately. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. Here is another interesting thing about cause and effect in regard to wealth. Why do you suppose people get inspiration to start a particular business or career or passion or hobby? Yes, they are the cause individually of their desires, but there is something else as well. The collective consciousness of this planet and universe also has a hand in causing this inspiration. Remember, life always manifests images of the mind and grants every sincere and certain desire without fail. And the mind field is one. Your mind and all minds make up the unified mind field. So the reason you have an idea is partially that others have caused it. That is how supply and demand works behind the scenes. If a million more people suddenly desire and believe that they can have a certain type of fashion accessory, for example, an appropriate person with appropriate level of desire and belief to go into the fashion business will be inspired to create this fashion accessory and sell it to other people. Hence, all desires and beliefs will be fulfilled. The reasons you have an idea is partially that others have caused it. When you visualize something you wish to have, someone is visualizing the same thing as something that they wish to give or sell. So next time you have inspiration, rejoice in knowing that a group of people, small or large, is actively asking you and waiting for you to fulfill their desires. In other words, somewhere around the world, people are praying very hard for just the thing you are inspired to do. You are the answer to their prayers, and they are the answer to yours. Everybody is an answer to a prayer. We are all gifts and miracles to each other, even though we may not immediately see how that is so. There is nothing to worry about except worry itself. You succeed. That is all you ever do. An easy way to understand that everyone is a gift and that we all are responsible as one unified mind field is to think again of the World War II. Why it was a gift for us? The world created the conditions necessary to rise this situation. And then we said, it's not our problem. We didn't care. This separation ideology, coupled with the way of our collective state of being, had created a fertile state in which the World War II could have place. I am wealth, I am health, I am abundance, I am joy. All other things held constant to the extent that an individual or society understands and applies the law of cause and effect the right way, so will it have wealth and happiness. What you now have is a good introduction to the universe's prime law. As you read the remaining chapters, you will understand this law a whole lot more clearly, especially after reading the chapters on conditions, success, and quantum physics. Now that you are armed with knowledge of the law that runs the universe, let us have a look at what conditions and success truly are. You are about to enter into one of the most beautiful, forgiving, and encouraging journeys you have ever taken.